There's a particular kind of frustration that eats at you quietly. It's when people think they've already figured you out. They smile like they know what you're going to say. They slot you into some label in their head. Too nice, too soft, too serious, too intense. And from that moment on, they stop listening. You're not hated. You're not feared. You're dismissed. And the worst part? They're not even trying to disrespect you. They just stop paying attention. Because you're too easy to read. We live in a world that rewards those who are hard to figure out. The ones who speak less, reveal less. The ones who give you just enough to spark curiosity and never enough to be pinned down. They're the ones who get respect. The ones people chase, obsess over, try to decode. But you've been giving people the full blueprint. Your thoughts, your fears, your intentions, all up front, all unfiltered. And now they treat you like a glass window. Clear, predictable, disposable. What you think is honesty, they see as weakness. What you think is connection, they treat as convenience. And slowly, without realizing it, you start to disappear. Not because you don't matter, but because you've made yourself too available to be valued. The truth is brutal. If people can predict you, they feel like they own you, and no one values what they already own. You weren't born easy to read. You were trained to be. Somewhere along the way, probably early on, you learned that the safest thing you could do was to explain yourself, to soften your presence, to overexpress your intentions, to make sure no one misunderstood you or saw you as a threat. Because maybe when you weren't clear, people reacted badly. They got cold, distant, punishing. So you compensated. You opened up even more. You started handing people the manual to your personality. Page 1. Here's why I act this way. Page 2. Please don't get the wrong idea. Page 3. Let me make myself small so you're comfortable. It was never about weakness. It was about survival. You wanted to avoid conflict. You wanted to be liked. You wanted to stay safe. But what no one told you is that explaining yourself too much becomes a habit, and that habit becomes your personality. You confuse vulnerability with connection. You confuse openness with likability. You confuse clarity with strength. But in the psychology of power, none of that holds up. In power dynamics, clarity is vulnerability. The more people know about how you think, how you feel, how you move, the easier you are to control. You've spent your life trying to be understood, but you were never supposed to be understood. You were supposed to be respected. And those are two very different games. Machiavelli never said, "Be honest." He said, "Appear honest." There's a difference. In The Prince, he laid it out clearly. People judge you by what they see, not what you are. And if you try to lead, persuade, or protect yourself based on truth alone, you'll lose to someone who knows how to shape the image. This isn't about being fake. It's about understanding how the world actually works. You could be loyal, brilliant, and full of potential. But if people perceive you as weak, predictable, or average, you'll be treated accordingly. Machiavelli called it virtù, not virtue in the moral sense, but presence, force, command, the ability to shape outcomes, and nothing strengthens your presence like mystery. Why? Because when people don't know exactly who you are, what you think, or what you'll do next, they can't box you in. They can't prepare for you. They can't dismiss you. They have to watch you. And the moment they're watching, you've taken control of the dynamic. Mystery isn't about withholding for the sake of being aloof. It's about selective revelation. You show just enough to build intrigue, but you never let them see the full blueprint. You're not hiding. You're commanding attention by limiting access. That's not deception. That's strategy. Because when the truth doesn't matter, perception is the truth. You don't need to become mysterious. You need to stop being so available. Being unreadable isn't about acting edgy or aloof. It's about removing the unnecessary signals that give people power over you. Start here. 1. Stop narrating your intentions. You don't need to explain every move. You don't need to justify every silence. Let people wonder what you're thinking. Let them feel the uncertainty. 2. Break your patterns. Don't always reply instantly. Don't always smile at the same time. Don't always show up with the same energy. People rely on rhythm to decode you, destroy the rhythm. 3. Use silence as a weapon. Most people rush to fill space. You won't. Let silence stretch. It makes your presence heavier. It makes every word you do say carry more weight. 4. Control your face. Don't telegraph every emotion. Practice keeping your expression neutral, even when you're hurt, excited, or angry. Not because you're cold, but because you're in control. 5. Master contrast. Be warm, then distant. Kind, then firm. Approachable, then unreachable. That tension makes people feel like there's something deeper in you they can't quite reach. And that's exactly the point. None of this is about being fake. It's about withholding access as a form of power. You're not performing. You're protecting your leverage. And once people realize they can't predict or decode you, they'll stop trying to manage you. They'll start respecting you. Something changes the moment you become unreadable. People stop treating you like an object they can pick up and put down. They start treating you like a force they have to account for. You're no longer trapped in their mental boxes, no longer reduced to the quiet one, the nice one, the overthinker. You become undefined, and in that space they begin to project power onto you. They start watching what they say around you. They hesitate before asking for too much. They wonder what's going on in your head, and that wondering creates gravity. This isn't about being feared. It's about being respected. Because when people don't know what you'll do next, they prepare for every possibility. They treat you with caution. They treat you like someone who could surprise them, in a good way or a dangerous one. And in that uncertainty, you gain leverage. You no longer have to chase respect. You don't have to explain your worth. You just move, and the world adjusts. That's the hidden power of strategic mystery. It's not manipulation, it's not cruelty, it's clarity about what you give away and what you protect. And when you learn to stop being easy to read, you don't just become more powerful, you become someone they'll never forget.